Welcome students. Today in the chapter of photosynthesis in higher plants, we are going to take a topic which is called where does photosynthesis takes place. In our last class, we have studied about the early experiments done by the scientists, and we all know that how does the photosynthesis takes place. But there I did not tell you one thing, that is the oxygen which is liberated from that of the reaction of the photosynthesis, it comes from that of the water, not from that of the carbon dioxide. It was proved by the experiment of a radioisotope oxygen atom, that is O18. The water which was taken, it was an isotope of oxygen, that is O18, and at the end of the reaction, the oxygen that was liberated, it was noticed that the oxygen which was liberated was also a radioisotope of oxygen, that is O18, proving that the oxygen which is liberated at the end of the photosynthesis is coming from that of the water, not from that of the carbon dioxide. Okay. Now, today we are going to read about the organelle where the photosynthesis takes place. Now, photosynthesis in higher plants, since we are reading, it takes place in the organelle which is called as your chloroplast. Now, if we talk about the lower group of organisms like certain blue-green bacteria, or even in case of certain photosynthetic bacteria, chloroplast is not found in them. They have some loosely arranged thylakoids found in the freely suspended in the cytoplasm where the photosynthesis or the photosynthetic pigment is associated. So we are not discussing about that, we are discussing about the organelle which is found in the higher plants, which is responsible for the process of photosynthesis. Now this organelle is known as your chloroplast. Now chloro word means definitely it is having the chlorophyll, that is the green color pigment found in them, and along with that green color pigment it has other pigments also which we will be coming on later on. But let us first see that how does this organelle looks like under the electron microscope. Now under this electron microscope, the organelle which we see is oval shaped, and this is a double membrane structure. You can see here this is a double membrane structure, outer membrane and the inner membrane, and this membrane is intact, it is not thrown into foldings unlike what we see in case of mitochondria where the inner membrane is thrown into foldings. So here it is entire, and the distance between them is 100 to 200 angstrom. That is the thickness of the distance between these two membrane found in case of your chloroplast. Now inside the chloroplast, if we notice, we have a suspended matrix or a gel like thing in which various enzymes, granular substances, then that is your ribosomes, DNA, everything is suspended. So the one which is found, which is the base, is known as your matrix. So this is known as your matrix which is found inside this chloroplast. Now within this chloroplast and the matrix, this matrix is known as your stroma. Okay, so this base is known as your stroma. Within this stroma are present certain stack structure. Now these stacked structures are parallelly arranged, somewhat disc-like structures which are piled one upon another, and one such pile is known as your granum, and various granums are called as your grana. Plural is grana and singular is granum. Okay, now it is within this membrane of this grana are present the photosystem 1 and photosystem 2, which is important for the light reactions to happen. Okay, also these within this that is stroma are present stroma lamellae. Now the stroma lamellae are not as much stacked or thick like that of the granule lamellae, but they also have photosystem 1, and also they have the enzyme, that is ATP synthase. Now ATP synthase is found in the membrane of the grana as well as the membrane of the stroma, but photosystem 1 and photosystem 2 both are found in the membrane of the thylakoids. Each member is known as thylakoid, and several thylakoids makes the granum. Okay, so they are found photosystem 1 and photosystem 2 in the membranes of this thylakoid or the granum, whereas if we talk about the stromal lamellae, there we will find the ATP synthase as well as the that is your photosystem 1, not photosystem 2. Okay, and along with that there are starch granules, and also this organelle, that is chloroplast, has a circular DNA. Now this circular DNA is known as your ctDNA, that is your chloroplastid or chloroplastidial DNA. Since it is having its DNA, it is having the ribosomes, so it can multiply itself according to the need of the cell, like that of the mitochondria. So it is also a kind of semi-autonomous organelle in a plant cell. Okay, so these are found in the plant cell, so definitely their number varies. Okay, their number varies from 220 to that of your 250 per cell. So it varies from one cell to another cell depending upon the requirement, and they can multiply as because they have their own DNA and they have the ribosomes also. Now these ribosomes are not 80S type, these ribosomes are of 70S type. So this is a structure present within the higher plants where the process of photosynthesis takes place. Now the structure, the figure of the chloroplast which I have drawn here may vary in case of certain lower group of plants, like that of the algae. There you will find the that is your the shape of the chloroplast is discoid, sometimes they are ribbon shaped, differently shaped they are, but since we are talking about the higher plants, so definitely it is a oval structure having double membrane, having starch granules, having the various enzymes which is required for the process of photosynthesis, both light reaction and dark reaction, as well as it has the stacked structures. Each member is called thylakoid, and a stack of thylakoids is known as granum, and various granums will be togetherly called as your granum, and they have the stromal lamellae also, and they have photosystem 1 and photosystem 2 associated with the membrane of the granum as well as ATP synthase, and here they have only photosystem 1 with that of the ATP synthase but not photosystem 2. Okay, so this is all about the structure of the chloroplast. Next is the pigments which are associated with that of the photosynthesis. Now pigments, definitely it is chlorophyll. Now chlorophyll again is categorized into various types, chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D, then bacteriochlorophyll is there. Besides, there are certain accessory pigments. Now what are these accessory pigments? They are called as your carotenoids. Okay, carotenoids again are of two types, carotenes and xanthophylls. Now carotenes, the word has come from carrot because it was reported in carrot, so carrot is orange in color, so carotenes are generally orange in color, and xanthophylls are yellowish type of pigment. They are also found in certain parts of the plant which is other than that of the green, but they are also capable of capturing the sunlight, which is essential, that is between 400 nanometer to that of your 700 nanometer. That is a range where the photosynthesis takes place in case of higher plants. So these pigments, that is your chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D, along with that the carotenoids also help to access that light, so that the chlorophyll becomes excited, and as a result of it the starting up of the Hill reaction or the light reaction can take place, followed by that of the biosynthetic phase, which is the dark reaction. Okay, now this chlorophyll, as I was talking about, is of many types, chlorophyll A, B, C, D, but we are here concentrating upon chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. Now if you see the structure of the chlorophyll, which is not given in your NCERT, but you should know one thing, that it is it's a huge structure. The molecular formula, you can see chlorophyll A is C55H72O5N4Mg. Mg, that is your magnesium is in the center, and it has a tetrapyrrole ring structure. The head is tetrapyrrole ring structure, and it has a phytol chain, a long phytol chain. Okay, that is the structure of the chlorophyll. Now chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B, if you see, the number of carbon atoms are same, but here the number of hydrogen atom in case of chlorophyll A is 72, whereas in case of chlorophyll B it is 70, and oxygen in case of chlorophyll A is 5, whereas in case of chlorophyll B it is 6. What is the reason is that in case of chlorophyll A it has a methyl group CH3. So it has CH3, so that means it has a methyl group, so definitely it will be having more of hydrogen, whereas in case of chlorophyll B, that methyl group CH3 is replaced by a aldehyde group. Now aldehyde is what? CHO. So when it is CHO, so you see there 2 hydrogen is less, isn't it? And one oxygen is more. So since 2 hydrogen is less, that is why here it is 72 and here it is 2 less. So here it is H7T, and here I told you CHO, so one oxygen is more, so definitely instead of O5 it is O6. That is the reason the molecular formula of chlorophyll B is having 2 less hydrogen atom and 1 more oxygen atom. Okay, so this is the generalized structure of the chlorophyll, that is chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B, which is the fundamental, you can say, the pigment which is associated with the process of photosynthesis in higher plants. Besides this, as I told you, carotenoids are also there. Carotenoids are a group of pigments which comprises of carotenes and xanthophylls. Now carotenes and xanthophylls have common thing, that is carbon is 40 and hydrogen is 56, but in xanthophyle what is additional? Additional is 2 oxygen atom. Okay, so that is one molecule of oxygen. So C40H56 is common in both carotenes and xanthophylls, but oxygen is extra in case of your xanthophylls. Now in the that is your a chloroplast, in the leaves there are lots of chloroplast. Now within this chloroplast we have come to know that here there is your that is your thylakoid. Now within the thylakoid are present a lot of structures which are actually the, you can say, that is taking up the light in the form of photons, which is called as your quantasome. So quantasome is the photosynthetic unit. Okay, so each granum is having lot of quantasomes in it, and if we consider one single quantasome, in the one single quantasome there is a single reaction center. Reaction center from where the chlorophyll will be from the ground state excited to its excited state when it will be receiving the required amount of sunlight in the form of photons. Okay, now the accessory pigments which are surrounding the chlorophyll A, what do they do is that they form the light harvesting complex. They take up the light, and finally all of them give the energy towards the chlorophyll A, so that now the electron which is present in the outermost orbit of the chlorophyll A is released and it comes to the excited stage. It comes to the excited stage only for 10 to the power minus 9 seconds, and again it comes back to the ground state. So once it is excited, then definitely the other things takes place in the light reaction, which we will be taking upon in our next class, that is photolysis of water will take place, and it will the electron will be taken up by the various carrier that is your complexes, and finally it will again return back to the ground state. While it is doing so, energy will be liberated, which will be now helping the ATP synthase to form the ATP molecule that will be utilized in case of your dark reaction for the that is your fixation of the carbon dioxide to form the carbohydrate, which is the glucose. Okay, so today we are just concentrating upon where does photosynthesis takes place, what are the various pigments associated with the photosynthesis, that is chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B, their molecular formula, what are carotenoids, along with the carotenoids what are carotenes and xanthophylls molecular formula. Besides there is phycobilenes also and phycoerythrin also, but phycobilenes, phycoerythrin, they are associated with that of the algae. So that is the reason we are not discussing them, but these are the accessory pigments, these carotenes and the xanthophylls, these are the accessory pigments. What are they doing? They are harvesting the light and they are passing it to the reaction center, which is chlorophyll A, and then the that is your electron in the ground state will come to the excited state and the light reaction or the Heald reaction can start off. Okay, so today's class is a short one, so that you can easily know what is the chloroplast, what does it looks like, what are the things associated with it, what do you mean by chlorophyll A, what is the structure of the chlorophyll A and structure of the chlorophyll B, that means a tetrapyrrole ring with the central magnesium element in it, and as well as that of the phytol chain. Although that structure is not coming in the examination, the reason is because it is not discussed in your NCERT, but the molecular formula is also not discussed, but you should know what is a molecular formula of chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B, and why chlorophyll B has 2 hydrogen less than that of the chlorophyll A and 1 oxygen more than that of the chlorophyll A. That's it. So that's all for today's class. I hope you understood this simple topic well. We will continue with the light reaction in our next class. That's all for today's class.